It's cleaver time!
Well, I'm just always happy to see Kaka playing Lion. This man will play it regardless of how viable it is. But maybe it is an actually good support in 7.23b. It's 7.33b.
7.8095.
7.95123 cap and SVG.
Yes. Welcome everybody to OG versus Xtreme, game number 1. We got some fun little heroes here. We're gonna see the BZM Void Spirit, which I think is super hype. We get to see the right-click damage Void Spirit and see, you know, whether or not it actually has some staying power. They won their one game, but see how many games it keeps winning, and whether or not Timbersaw is a viable hero, because this hero got some reworks and change arounds. Definitely a different hero than it was last patch, Avery.
Talking about the Ags?
I am talking about the Aghanim Scepter, because I feel like Amar brought this hero to the mainstream by being able to run Timbersaw and be a straight-up killer by being able to have, in part, the second chakram. But now they made it so Timbersaw doesn't have the same kind of offensive power, but now much more defensive if you go the Ags.
I don't know. I don't like the Axe change in terms of what I think of the hero and potential-wise. But like you said, maybe it's just an unexplored thing. Everything's unexplored this patch, so I'm not going to hate on anything. It's just if I'm looking at this game in terms of the type of damage OG is outputting outside of Templar Assassin, maybe Void Spirit plays higher physical now. Like we've seen BZM go, Deso, Echo on this hero, playing more of that physical damage, but he's still a hybrid hero. There's a lot of magic damage over time from OG, and it's another one of those lineups that just has a lot of zone control between Underlord, Disruptor, and Dark Willow, where if you clump on the side of Xtreme and you get punished by that control, you're going to have a rough time. Especially if you don't have BKB or Dispels, ways to disengage out of this. So if I'm looking at that Timbersaw to buy Ags, yeah, maybe it's nice you can negate some of this damage, but the thing is OG want to take really long fights anyway.
Sure. And they're going to take a very fast first blood as Taiga sets it up. I mean, you just got to watch out for these tri-lanes, especially in your off lane because you're a little bit farther forward in lane. Get the kill with a tri-lane, and then you just teleport to the other side of the map. Easy, easy.
Kill and dip. Level 1 Glimpse. Still finding people out in this patch.
And especially with the killing power, even better now that you're able to stack them, the blood grenade. You know, somebody like Taiga, he's going to pick up a couple blood grenades for himself, and he's just going to rotate back and forth between lanes. You got to be ever wary of that ganking potential.
There's a lot of kill threat on this OG lineup, especially if BZM gets off to a fast start. He's kind of the big damage in the mid game. So if he has a good laning phase, he can combine with the OG supports here. You're just going to be running down Xtreme on the map. Their AoE is not going to be there in the 5-on-5s until later with, you know, Sven Aura, maybe some Timbersaw tankiness. XG really want to play a nice early game so that their pickoff can go to work as soon as possible between the Lion, the IO Storm. Whenever you play IO Storm, you really want to storm down as fast a game as possible. They're going to play through Paparazzi, try and set him up, see if it works out. I think the Timber pick does hurt a little bit because it doesn't have a stun, it doesn't have that crowd control that maybe you'd look for with IO Storm.
Right.
It's just kind of damage follow-up. So I think the lanes here are pretty important for Xtreme. Like, you want JT to have a really good lane phase down here, kicking Uraki out, pushing him into those jungle areas, so then the Storm IO can find the pickoffs on the map, and then you're constricting space really fast.
They get the kill on the stand-in Kitrax, so that's a decent start. I mean, first blood, you know, at least you don't lose any net worth when you can get picked off like that. Coming back in the lane, being able to get a kill, that's going to help a lot, especially since he was pretty low on CS as is. Taiga has another blood grenade, and he does have some stick charges. Oh no! He tethered back into Shadow Realm hit. It is enough. Taiga gets that kill. Back into the Brambles. Man, that was unfortunate.
I don't think you get that kill last patch.
You mean the Brambles sticking around forever?
No, I mean Shadow Realm is 120 instead of 90 level 1 now.
Holy cow, that is a big damage buff.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, I literally don't think you finish off Dial there unless you have that extra damage. I was like, is he going to use this grenade? Saving this grenade for next time or what?
Yeah.
Well, this man knows his numbers better than I do. Pays off. Early kills going OG's way. And that's going to be nice here, as they are falling a bit behind in terms of just like the CS and net worth across 3 lanes. All 3 of Xtreme's cores are finding farm here now, and their staying power is going to go up over time.
And with that blood grenade, Needs more vision. Surprised he went for this one, but might actually be able to get it. He's got level 2 Shadow Realm. Offside of him, though. Oh, no, he doesn't.
Yeah,
he has the vision on the high ground and gets him with the last hit. It's not enough. Oh, he barely out-healed it in time.
Armor and regen from the tower.
Yep.
Yeah, he's off. They know that ward's there now. Maybe you deny it, but you can also just leave it up. It's going to expire soon. Oh, no. A.K.A.'s running over. Oh, it's a sentry.
Does indeed. But Kidrak is also running over, and they're going to be able to get the glimpse on A.K.A. So the ward still gets them a kill unless... Oh, what a stun. Shadow Realm hit's going to come out, though, and that will finish the job. So ultimately, the ward does get them a kill, just not the one they thought it was going to be.
A.K.A. betrayed by his own knowledge.
Yep.
Upside is MC is left alone here for Xtreme, and Ghost will punish him, trying to get that Lotus. I was thinking about where's IO Sven? I've been wanting this combination to come back. It's one of my favorite IO combinations, especially in patches where you can abuse ancient stacks or a lot of ancient camps, which now we got 4 instead of 2. So why not?
Why is it one of your favorite? Isn't it the most boring of
is under attack.
IO combos?
Because I think Sven is a pretty bad hero, but when you have IO, he becomes a playable hero.
Okay. So it sounds like to me it's more about Sven just being off meta for a long time, and now maybe he's viable. JT, Timber Chain away, but he is having a hard time with this lane. And Panel talked about it. Pure damage of side blades can kind of wreck you in this matchup.
Sly and Timberlane can be really strong, but it hasn't really been exerting the pressure XG1. In fact, I think it was that old VP, DM Save, played this lane, I swear to you, like 1,000 times in a row that year. They just kept playing it over and over.
Yeah.
They didn't care. They first phased it. I remember scrimming them like 10 times in a row. It was just line timber.
Have you noticed anything that they're doing, in your opinion, like wrong after seeing all that?
I mean, they got first blooded. It set them back a little bit. Some extra levels went to Yuragi in the meantime. I think this lane's not as strong as it used to be. Timber's gotten his spells nerfed a little bit, so the chip isn't as good. But I think A.K.A.'s just trying to give him a lot of solo XP. Like, they're not trying to play the lane 2v2 to crush the TA. You're just going to give him solo XP and try and fight around Paparazzi, because OG have been exerting a lot of pressure around mid. He's felt that he didn't get that last water room. Pretty well of resources.
Backs on both sides. Paparazzi does manage to get the kill, gets him to level 6, but he didn't have any mana to be able to get the escape afterwards. So, worthwhile trade for OG.
At least DUI gets this rune top. That's a very important rune to get. Shut down BZM's regen on this middle lane. That's causing you issues right now. Is that 3v3 ball gets into full effect here. Vanguard for JT. Needs to probably leave this reactive at level 2 and just try and push the TA off the lane through the raw tankiness. To me, this is now about accelerating your spend as much as you can. Yeah. Like, if you can get him stacks, that's great, but if he can just farm through his own, you can play through the storm with the IO, it's going to force OG to respond.
Jumping back in after an escape and gets the kill. BZM, great read of the situation. Turns a gank right back around on Xtreme.
He's having a nice early game.
He is. 42-7. Great CS score.
And no deaths.
And no deaths. And being a part of 2 kills. One of which he got the bounty for. But now you've got the IO Storm Spirit online, so it's constant mana battery. I mean, we were talking about it backstage. Some of the talent seems like a map this big. Resource management is a really big factor. And so some of these supports that can give you this bonus resource is going to be pretty valuable. And IO Storm Spirit is the best example of that. Besides maybe, I don't know, Storm Pugna.
Seen some Storm Pugna. IO Lesh. Another good pair for that same reason. And yeah, early arcanes for Paparazzi. He's just going to keep refilling himself here.
Oh, Kidrak stole their Wisdom Rune.
It's a pretty big play.
Yeah, so much to keep track of. When you start losing this laning phase, it makes it feel like you have less and less room as a support to take the time to go get that Wisdom Rune.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think either of Xtreme supports really want to go run all the way there during this laning phase.
Yeah.
You'd rather be stacking Ancients, playing on the lanes, playing through your Storm Spirit, trying to exert some pressure. Maybe go to this Timber lane. Now that you have 6 on JT, this is the window where you really want to kick Yuragi out of this area, take the safe lane tier 1, open up the map. OG are not going to have that same early objective taking. I mean, MC has a Vanguard. He's pretty tanky, but I don't think it happens at the same pace. And I also think Xtreme are happy to fight around any of their towers this game. Like, they will bring the storm in with full resources, jump you under the tower, and then that fight becomes pretty spooky for OG here. However, double damage BZM doesn't look too worried. Just smacking. Somebody stop this, man. He's in.
Going in deep. Seeing if he can get this kill on a Paparazzi. Pulling it back in. Oh, what? He dodged it? Paparazzi, I think, dodged a little bit of damage, but he still dies. BZM still picks up the kill. Now, nice rotation from Ghost, who was receiving some pressure in the top lane. So he gets out of there, goes mid, gets the return kill. Very nice for him. But still, I mean, IO Storm, 2 versus 1. BZM picking up the kill. That's just intense.
Just did him dirty.
Did.
I've never seen a play that looked so much like an instant highlight reel into despair.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all for Ghost, right? It was all just setting up the kill for his carry Sven to accelerate even faster, which is the name of the game here. I'm not gonna fault him for that.
It does mean the carry is no longer in the safe lane, so Xtreme really need to be able to win this off lane situation, which it looks like Uragi's not going to take a step back. So
Look at the Cobalt.
Oh, he's dead.
He sacrificed it to its brothers.
Why? Cannibalism.
It was not part of the try. Well, you get some of these little Cobalts off the shovel, and then you can tether to them. Run around.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
I don't know why
attack.
you'd want to do that, but if you're looking to grief your team a little in a fashionable way, it's all the rage this season.
Griefing? I feel like
No, that's rage every season.
Yeah,
That never goes out.
exactly.
Radiant's bottom
Arcane
tower
rune for
is under
Paparazzi.
attack.
It's a pretty big early rune. It's not having the greatest game here. I mean, he kind of had a rough lane versus BZM. He got ganked a couple times. Wisdom rune got jacked by Kittrack. Kind of having to farm his way up the slow way. Your enemy jungle here, not getting those early kills with the IO acceleration you really want.
It's crazy that Kittrack has gotten 2 wisdom runes and is still not level 6.
Yeah, he gave a lot of XP on the lane. I mean, Uragi's level 9.
Radiant's
That's
bottom
pretty damn
tower
high level
is
for a hero
falling.
that got kicked out. Like, relatively early? Not super early, but he hasn't been bottom for a while. JT takes free tower. Now just a question of how much do OG want to ramp this pace? Like, is this a game where they just want to invade Sven's areas, try and take those aggressive fights? Are they happy farming for first, second item on Templar Assassin plus Void Spirit and feeling content taking that timing here? I think either route's acceptable. It's just a matter of if you think you can get the catch with Disruptor Dark Willow, which okay catch here, but they're also a bit under leveled, right? We're still looking at 2 OG supports who are level 5. I guess Xtreme aren't doing much better. They're also level 5 here.
Yeah, people talk about how you can get a lot of experience, but it swings very heavily. Sometimes now you just are guaranteed to not be 6 by 10. You're trying to be, you know, giving up a decent amount of solo experience to your core.
I also feel like a lot of the
Wisdom
experience this
rune?
patch comes from like the random skirmishing kills.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
the game is faster paced, let's say we have 20 kills instead of 10, I think all these supports would automatically be 6.
For sure. Get the jump.
And his finger.
And with the finger, they will have the kill. The Static Storm cannot stop them. Damage is already done. They do have this relocate coming in from MC. That portal gets him in place to be able to get the pick off on the Storm Spirits and, or excuse me, the Lion. Storm Spirit, though, still zipping around, goes for the kill on the Taiga, and will be able to get it. Now, keeping running. MC's pretty tanky, though. This is a hard hero to bring down with
Another chakra.
TA on the side here. They got to respect this. Do not go into that funnel.
I mean, you're gonna get glimpsed on somebody.
Somebody's going to get glimpsed. I think they were
Or-
hoping it was Paparazzi. Nobody can get down.
Oh, finger charge for Kaka. He's back. Just when you thought this line wasn't gonna be in the meta, Kaka shows up to a major and
Dire
says,
structures are
hold
fortified.
my finger.
Yeah,
It's lower
very,
cooldown now, too.
very apt that
They buffed this man.
ESL included the Lion Chasers on their welcome letter to Xtreme, who are currently being welcomed to a nasty fight in the mid lane where they're going to get a glimpse back onto Kaka, and they can go for the IO after all that. 3 kills, perhaps. See if they can catch the IO. Yeah, they got him. The Void Remnant. Gonna fall back in. Any follow-up disables? Give you a glimpse. Not even necessary.
This is a hard IO game. That's
Yeah.
the thing about it, too. You're fighting into so much AoE control, and then Willow and Disruptor are 2 of the best supports at dealing with IO. You have ways to break the tether on both heroes. You have ults that are problematic in the fights because you clump. You have a glimpse that can always bring it back off the reload or bring someone out of a reload. This is just going to be a hard game for DY, especially if you're missing these clutch saves. Like, maybe you can turn the fight if you get that save, but these are not going to be that reliable. And the early OG group up is very problematic here because you just don't have the teamfight capability. And these are not the engagements you want to be sucked into. You want to be splitting the map, forcing OG onto separate areas, so Paparazzi has people to jump.
Vision on the high ground will catch Kaka. He attempts to go for the ward kill.
Damn, look at nice guy MC.
Each moment.
Radiant are scanning.
He was about to swing that giant blade down. He said, no, no, no.
Tower is under attack.
I played with Sumail. I know who to give the kills to.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know why. You know why.
That was the that was the disciplined hand of an offlaner who's played with Miracle his entire career. You could see it trained into his brain. I'm gonna take this kill. No, no, don't take the kill.
Maybe an offlaner who's also looking to play nice with some other teams.
Yeah, that's true. You know, he's standing in, so we'll give him some slack here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Desolator up for Yuragi. Time to start getting some charges.
Another pick off on BCM with the finger. They got it. Oh, what?
Not enough.
I feel like they thought they had it and started. I mean, Stormshire did a full 180, turned around. They were trying to get the kill real quick and get out, make sure nobody got caught. But Kaka turns around, great stun.
Early A.K.A. tanky enough to survive. His Void Spirit's got 1600 HP.
Yeah, that stun did not last very long.
No. Sometimes the downside of line. This hero does not do a lot of damage, honestly. Paparazzi playing around with Witchblade here.
Ooh, Taiga gets broken by the pit. Same time, though, Taiga needs some help. 5 seconds till the Shadow Realm, trying to go for the Terrorize. He's next up and finally finished off. JT needs to help out his team here. Ghost on the side, going for BCM. He's actually got him.
Yeah, nothing.
Just no charge
Back into the dirt.
JT trying to hop away from the pit. Timber Chain is coming up. Is that last hit enough? The Firestorm will come in. Gets the finishing blow. So 3 dead on the side of Xtreme. It's only because Ghost came in. This is twice now. Ghost has come in and saved the day in some ways. Gotten a critical core kill.
I mean, he's having a great game, 3-0 with 180 CS, but he's still behind Yuragi. He's just having a better game and gets 3 Deso charges out of that fight too.
Oh, yeah, and maybe even a
perfect
Roche.
timing. Yeah, straight into Roche on here. You don't have God Strength. You're not going to be able to get back here with all your heroes. I like the kind of kitey fight that Xtreme are doing here because it's really hard to engage into all the AoE control. And you get this really good Void Spirit kill. But Timber is just not allowed to stay in these engagements for too long. And especially when Io dies early, that's a lot of your sustain out of the fight. And if Kaka dies early, that's a lot of your control. And we're looking at a lineup that has the Impale and the Hex as your main control elements here. You've got to play around those, which means if Kaka's just going to do his usual, I'll suicide for a core, and you don't get that core like we saw where they tried to go on BZM, these fights are going to turn around very fast. That's early Aegis for Yuragi, who's going to fly out. The Link Dagger on top of it.
Trying to catch up, even a small disable. Well, the Disruptor get in range. Maybe get a glimpse back. Yep, got him. Relocate. Oh no, he was repositioned and could not get the tether in time. Still getting Timber Chain away. Dark Rift's coming out soon. They also have the IO coming back into play, so if they want, they can just content themselves with support kill. No, they get JT. Now back to the IO. DY has no out.
This IO's just getting really punished on the map right now. OG just finding the initiations where Xtreme aren't, and getting the numbers advantage, getting the value.
Dire's bottom tower.
This Timber does not feel tanky into this OG lineup.
And it's the exact opposite situation for
Dire's
MC.
bottom tower has fallen.
He feels like he can kind of waddle up to most of Xtreme and take all the heat. Ward down, perfect timing right before he runs into Kaka, which could have resulted in a kill.
Is under attack.
But instead, it's Kaka who has to run away after an Earth Spike.
He's close to Blink on Lion. Maybe that's a point in the game where Xtreme can shift some of the pressure back, where he can start getting some of the jumps for his team and setting things up. They look towards Yuragi, does have Aegis, but he's really far from anybody, and no gate up.
Detection? Anybody? Kaka? You got something here? Oh no!
protect that.
Yeah, okay, maybe you can get that kill, but again, he has the Aegis. You're looking really nasty as the IO's gonna die. MC almost getting bursted down by the Whirling Death. Still not enough. Stormspear commits for the kill, gets it, and gets the man to jump away, maybe to get out.
He has regen. Poppy can come back in this fight.
Has some low health heroes on OG side. Not low enough.
It's another fight. JT goes down. Man, his game, just no acceleration for the Timbersaw here. And that's worrying because these core matchups are not going to get better for him. They're only going to get harder. His Void Spirit's going to continue to power up in the burst department. TA, you can get that shard at some point. You're just going to have even more physical burst. It's going Lincoln's here to kind of dissuade the Lion jump. Sounds fine to me. I mean, Xtreme's gaming, they're all single target initiation here. If you block any of those spells, you're pretty happy. Sure. Especially with BKB nerfs. Midas on Taiga. Gonna help him scale into the late game here. He's just going Ags. Why not?
Now this is a move. Setting up for the Dark Rift. They have the IO relocate though to be able to counter that. Over here. Solo relocate in. Ghost manages to dodge that Void Remnant. Very important. Taiga getting blown up then. Paparazzi can't pick him off. They still have the pit. Controlling up Ghost.
Out in one.
Put the disarm on him, but the relocate back into the fountain is going to be good to go.
Paparazzi continuing to punish on the back end of these fights. He's finding these little openings, making them worthwhile. And that'll finish up the blink for Kaka. Flying out on Courier. So now maybe you can make some smoke moves of your own, get the Sven involved in the jump on the target. He's still away from his blink, but he has that BKB Echo. There's a lot of physical burst that can come out off of that Lion stun. You manage to nail it.
Yeah, why is this Lion stun so important? I mean, they have the Storm Spirit to be able to like jump and set up fights anyway.
Until Paparazzi's BKB, I don't know if he wants to be the first one jumping in. I think there's a decent risk you get pitted into or static storm and you're just gone.
Yeah.
Like, that is a scary jump. He wants to see the fight develop and spells be wasted here from OG, and then he can go in. He will have BKB soon, which maybe makes that easier. But it's also just how Kaka plays Lion.
Dire's top tower
The guy goes in, Cap.
That is true.
You don't pick Lion to sit in the back and get killed by a Tormentor almost. He almost dies. Look at the shard, though. That's pretty nice for him. You pick Lion to go in.
Dire's top tower.
Zap some clowns.
This man was a support tanking expert. He is good with all the line stuns. Any hero that goes in and has a line stun has Kaka's name on it. Void Remnant glimpse back into Static Storm. JT, again, he can get the items, but he does not have the health.
Way too many small stuns and control elements. His game's going to be rough. This is going to come down to Ghost and Paparazzi carrying the fight with this BKB timing. They're going to have to win one soon. Or else I think OG just run away with it on the map right now. Like,
7,000 net worth lead.
You have to be worried about this Void Spirit scale in this game.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Aegis is expiring though.
bottom tower is
Xtreme
under
maybe
attack.
have been trying to work on pickoffs and dodging fights. We'll see if anything changes
Dire's
with
middle
the
tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom
Aegis
tower
expires.
is under attack.
I think Ghost Blink is going to be the signal for Xtreme to try and find something. They just want this clear jump initiation that can go in with Kaka's stun. Another reason it's important, like Kaka's Blink allows Ghost Blink to also be more useful, because then you can Blink, Finger, Hex, this Void Spirit, or TA, and then Ghost can chain it off of it, and that's probably a kill. There's no hard save here for OG, downside of the lineup. The BKB jump from the cores on Xtreme is still very strong right now. Find an opening.
Oh, that's not the hero that you talked about, but they may still have the burst. They do.
More than enough.
BZM is, oh, he used double steps there.
Yeah, he has nothing right now.
And he's done?
You don't need it.
Okay, the damage. JT finally feeling like he can dive headlong into the side of OG with two heroes dead. Finds an additional hero in the Dark Willow, but she's just able to Shadow Realm TP out.
That's all it takes. One line blink. Suddenly you feel like you're back in this game. More of a destruction for Ghost as well. He's hitting hard. He's just going harpoon. He's going to drag him in.
Yeah, I love that idea.
Drag him into the smackdown.
Make sure that once you get on top of this TA, she's not able to get away from you.
Pull JT back. We have some control.
JT has got to start respecting this glimpse a little bit more. Because he's just near nobody. No. Nobody else on Xtreme whenever this happens.
He has been punished very... That's his 8th death. That is a lot for an offlaner. He's supposed to be your tanky frontline.
Yeah. That doesn't quite land. Gives Kaka an opportunity. No, it doesn't.
To think about his sins.
Wisdom of eternity.
What have I done? All right, well, age is expiring apparently means nothing. Ragi's gonna keep hitting this tier 2 that he was chipping away earlier, and seems to be he's gonna finish it off too. So that'll be an outpost unlocked.
Under attack.
Next fight is for Roshan here. This is the fight that's going to maybe give you the window to get it, or at least get vision out, contest those pits. Ghost wants to hold his high ground, but
Dyer's
just down 1-2 heroes.
Oh yeah, if your IO gets picked off immediately, that's going to be real bad. DY pull back in. There it goes. Fun. If they can kill the TA, it may be worth it. TA no longer having the refraction. Too much damage between the double BKB targets. They cut through him.
Test of strength. Very favorable there for Ghost. OG might try and chase here and re-engage.
Yeah,
I mean, BKB.
He took all of their resources to be able to get that one kill. JT's back into play though.
Just lost vision on the glimpse.
Oh no, the glimpse back again. Without the TA, they still have the damage. Ghost, he's looking for an opportunity to be able to jump back into this. MC's getting quite low. JT, oh man, he doesn't care about dying apparently. He just wants any sort of fight that's good for his cores. Oh, pull him back in with the harpoon. BZM still on the run with the Gaunt strength down. Ghost having a harder time getting this kill, but he just needs the disables to get it. Oh! The actual step to the right, the relocate was on the left-hand side, but the long zip in from Paparazzi. Finally gets him, ticks him out there with the Witchblade.
The old Paparazzi pop. Now he's going to get regened up by DY. Those are hard fights for OG. When Yuragi just has to stand there and try and man fight, that's where the Lincolns does not feel great.
No.
Like, this Lincolns gets popped, you're sitting there, and then you're just getting wailed on. And there's no help, there's no force staffs, there's no reset. You don't have something like a Hurricane Pike here. Tough fight for OG. Maybe if they can get that glimpse on Sven at the end and return the favor, feel a bit better about that. But now, Xtreme's starting to become tanky. The Sven armor, a problem for Yuragi, who has to pull through in the damage in the fights.
And they're about to get so much tankier. Ghost is about to hit level 20. That is the plus 10 armor talent.
It's big. It's really big here. Double damage for Yuragi gonna run out. They also have that shard, so you have some silence. I mean, the control is not an issue for OG. It's just what happens in the BKB duration for Paparazzi and Ghost. If they get a big core kill during that BKB duration, the fight's over. But if you survive,
they've been sitting on TA grabs right now. OG trying to see if they can get a pick off here with. Oh, Kaka! Where was the Hex? Oh, I guess he has the Lincolns to fight through, so...
They don't know he's on that hill, actually.
Fight good track. Okay, so they get something out of this.
That's a gem. They didn't take it.
Oh, they're pretty gripped up. Hitting the 2 supports with the pit on top of that one. They're going to be cleaning through the back line. In fact, JT's going to be joining them as well. It's all up to Ghost and Paparazzi now. High back, relocate, back into play. DY going to help out Ghost. See if they can burst down MC. The Void Remnant helping them a little bit. Now they're stuck inside hell. BZM chasing after them. Yagi on the side, blinking forward, finishing off Ghost, and Paparazzi chased away. The fight for Roshan is won by OG.
4 support buybacks, but the extreme supports cannot get there at the same pace OG can't, fighting right outside that tier 1. And the second your Sven armor's out, your BKB's out, Yuragi, that's a different man fight right there. Happy to take that one. You're just going to shred the Sven back. MC, just big enough. Just big enough to survive. Turn around and throw that pit on top of that static storm. Man, imagine if they get the jump on Templar Assassin there. You're looking at a Roshan going Xtreme's way.
Yeah.
It's a clutch blink out by Yuragi. Making sure they're still in this game in a dominant position, and that'll be ages for him, which is really nice here, because when you're talking about wearing out that BKB timing, wearing out that armor, I mean, Aegis will just guarantee do the job for you.
Now you kind of have to go on... Oh, Taiga still gets the kill. Kaka not respecting that.
That's just a BM kill right there.
Yeah.
see on the other side of these diebacks, my friend.
Man, that pumps him pretty close to his Aghanim Scepter, which is crazy. Taiga, he's going to scale very, very well in this game. Much better than the Timbersaw, as he's already almost a K above him in net worth.
Willowax might let them win the fights even if Yuragi gets burst jumped like Xtreme 1-2.
Yeah.
Like maybe your BKB and goes down for Sven, you might just take a crap ton of damage from Dark Willow on the backside.
Yeah, part of the strength of their lineup is the fact that they have Warcry answer to the physical damage from TA. But you start taking a heavy source of magic damage. Very problematic. In fact, BZM, very different builds. He's letting Yuragi just go all in on the physical damage, and he'll cover the magic, going Dagon.
Dagon on top of Arcane Rune, Yules, and an Enchanted Quiver. It is all utility and all magic burst. Gonna heal a lot more now with the Spelled Lifesteal. Dagon gonna heal you up for a bit as well.
Yeah,
This
also
Void
makes
Spirit...
Io's life even harder than it was before.
Yep. He's kind of deceptively tanky here on this Void Spirit unless you get the jump on him. If you get the jump, let's say you get the Hex on BZM, I think he's just gone. He's absolutely gone.
Yeah.
But if you don't, and he gets to start jumping in on you, casting spells around, it's gonna be very chaotic and obnoxious in the fight. That Ags is 100 gold away. It's coming. OG are coming. Hurricane Pike now finished for Yuragi, so he's a lot tankier. He's gonna have some gap recreation here versus the Sven as well on top of that Aegis. And they're hunting. And is it gonna be JT for the 11th time?
He does not get spotted. They wanted to hook up with Taiga. Finishing out his Aghanim Scepter, has it on the way.
I mean, also, if you're Xtreme, I think... I was about to say, I think you finished Paparazzi's Ags here. But
yeah.
They're smoking. This might be a defensive smoke, honestly. Pick up a shielder, and that's pretty nice. But I think this Ags for Storm is huge. Like, you might just get a game-winning fight out of it if OG don't expect that they clump. You get that pull into Stormhammer.
Middle tower is
That fight's over,
attack.
but he's 400 off.
Look at this setup. They're setting up around the Tormentor because OG figure Xtreme's gonna come up here eventually. It's around that time that it would be respawning. I don't know when they killed it exactly, but it spawns in 20 minutes and comes up 10 minutes after they killed it, so.
I mean, OG really want this fight. I don't think they know how close Xtreme are to some really big items here. Daedalus finish for Ghost.
They saw that with the Watcher. Making their way back in. Was this a re-smoke? Xtreme. No OG might be on the way. JT's gonna be the target here. They got the hex. The hex going off. BZM needs him out. 4 step away. Gold Scepter now. Uh-oh, this delay could be bad for Xtreme. They're trying to reset now. JT on the high ground will eventually die. They lose 2 off of that one, failing to get the opening kill on BZM.
Xtreme could not find the follow-up on BZM with that clutch hex from Kaka. And then Yuragi threw the Lincolns on him, and it was just enough time for him to get Yules off. Those are scary jumps. But if you're OG now,
Dire's bottom tower is
you
under
know what,
attack.
Godstrike?
Yeah.
This is just a lane guaranteed, maybe 2. I don't think you can fight without Sven over this game. I'm just not seeing it. Especially when you still have Aegis and Cheese on Yuragi.
They keep on seeing the Sven through the TA traps as well on the other side of the map, so they know he's not around.
Radiant's top
Yeah,
tower
you just give this up for sure. Track's gonna try and catch him, but goes a little too fast. You have Godstrike coming up in 20 seconds, and you have Ags completed on Paparazzi.
Okay, well, this is looking a little bit more doable.
You cannot clump versus Stormpull. You're absolutely gonna get massacred. Her Spike Stormhammer.
Radiant's top tower is under
I
attack.
mean, without having BKBs, potential for combo here is huge.
Another route for OG is just keep abusing his Timbersaw, man. That's a JT's 11th death. Taiga's ahead of him in network.
Radiant's
He's just
top
not a
tower
hero.
has been denied.
He's not tanky, he can't frontline, he's not offering you much damage. He's playing 5v4, and BZ's gonna
Yaka gets some heals, much needed from DY. Ghost is gonna go for it. They managed to get the pull on 2. Oh, look at that Godstrike cleave go.
He got the crit of destiny.
You said you cannot clump up against this lineup. Xtreme has the chance to win fights.
Oh, Paparazzi, you did him dirty, son. You did him real dirty, finding that pull on the backside, and then the cleave. Just lines him up. 1, 2, give me the crit.
I mean, that was the 2 most important cores to pick up.
Got 3.
And actually got the 3rd core too. Oh.
Radiant's middle tower is
What more
under
do you want
attack.
from this man in a fight like that? The first axe pull, you get all 3 cores and just line him up for Ghost. Put him on a platter. Feed him to the man.
Radiant's
And
middle tower
Ghost
is under attack.
seems to have a never-ending appetite as Xtreme are now going to push forward onto the enemy side looking for more kills.
We were talking about potentially 2 lanes for
Radiant's
OG.
middle tower is under
I
attack.
don't think you're going to lose a lane here, but that is a strong blow momentum-wise because now you're going to give Ghost a 5th, 6th item here.
Now,
Radiant's
one
middle
awkward thing
tower
is if they
has
can't
fallen.
get barracks, which seems like there's no way they're going to push high ground here.
No, especially with Glimpse that can punish you.
There is no objective for them to really take from here.
Yeah, I
No
was thinking.
Roshan, no Tormentor.
Does feel a little sad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great fight to win, but it's not a game-winning fight.
Yeah.
It's not as, oh, now they're at some certain position, because MC still finished EC. Like, this is a 3,000 HP Underlord with Atchfiora, with Assault Cuirass, with a Halberd. He's really tanky. You got a 3-man Corporal, but you're probably not going to get it again, because that's like the surprise first pull factor, whatever. Now it's in OG's mind. And Kitrak's continuing to push towards that Ags on Disruptor.
Very scared.
These OG supports are very farmed. Your BKBs are getting worn down here. And you just hit that AC on Ghost. Like, this is his time to shine. The Sven is not going to get much stronger in this game. You have Swift Blink potential, but that's about it. Maybe a Refresher later in the game, or a Refresher Shard, Ags off Roche. Still, the damage output, this is where it's peaking. Throw that Solar Crest on him, let him go to work. You're going to need another good Storm Jump here, because I don't think JT can just run it in front line.
Paparazzi did get the 20 talents, so his next pull is even better than the last if he gets the right targets.
Yeah, but how do you get the vision for him? That's a big question mark for Xtreme. Is it just Kaka blinking in and warding some hill? Like, do you feel confident enough to do that? You're going to take Outpost here, but there's traps all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing they bought the gem. That was very much needed. As you said, vision, important factor. JT gonna be the target here. BTM starts going for it. The Warcry to help him out. Static Drum also being used. DY being spotted here. They're gonna try and go for the IO if they can. Phoenix uses the BKB, goes off from Uragi. Not quite the big jump that they wanted to, especially as Uragi gets down to the low ground with that 4-staff away. MC, though, is gonna be left behind the dust with the harpoon back in. Kaka catching a little bit more, gets the hex. Oh, that's a big kill. OG not escaping right away. BZM does manage to get off the jump away there with a dissimilate, especially with that outer rim. He goes pretty far.
Dire's middle
Don't know where he
tower
went
is under
to.
attack.
Ghost could
Relocate.
not close the gap on the field. Or
They're going to relocate back to Fountain, just fill up on resources.
Yeah, buy some mangoes.
Deal
deal
with
with
the
them.
bottom lane.
This is the pressure on the map right now that Xtreme are feeling. Of course, both teams thinking about this Roshan spawn. Nighttime Roche. Gotta be up top.
Man, it's 5 seconds. That is a rough timing. If they stick around, they might be able to
They
do it
did
right
not.
away.
Ghost just left the pit. He's gonna run back.
He's going to run back in, but now, I mean, the Underlord is back up in 20 seconds. He has Dark Rift available. The Fiend's Gate is ready to go.
This is a tanky Roche, man. It's got 10,000 HP with 30 armor. This is not as easy as it used to be, and
Dire's middle tower
still
is
they'll
under
clear
attack.
pretty fast, and OG losing that tower top cannot get back here. So that's gonna be a Refresher Shard. Who does that go on? I mean, probably Paparazzi, right? Let's say you get a double pull. At the same time, who's gonna really use it as well?
Fallen to the Dire.
It's like, who do you believe in more? Do you believe in getting those big pulls that you're just gonna destroy them on the second
Dire's
round?
middle tower is under
You want
attack.
second round of Sven? Pretty
Dire's
tempting as
middle
well.
tower
He'll
has
take the
fallen.
Aegis on Sven and Shard on Paparazzi. Honestly, I might have done it the other way around, but
Yeah, it is kind of weird. Like, if your Sven dies, are you winning that fight?
yeah, that's how I don't think the second life will do much for Ghost here, unless he's willing to go in without popping God Strength. Like, if he's willing to go in without using BKB or God Strength, and he thinks he has enough damage to threaten heroes, I can understand the Aegis here, but I don't think that's the case. I think you have to pop it so you can threaten the Underlord, threaten the TA, or you're gonna have to burn through Refraction on. We'll see if it pays off. At least you get a cheese for JT who finishes Halberd, so I mean, Timber's got something going for him now. Never mind, he gave the cheese to DY. He gets absolutely nothing. Good luck, son. Just when I thought Timber was going to be able to tank a little bit. Still, he's been doing a nice job just frontlining these fights to set up the go for OG, and OG are taking that bait. Like, honestly, I don't think you should be jumping the Timber in a way.
Honestly, I can't believe he went for the Spell Amp on the 15 talent for JT.
It's a bold move.
Is he really doing any? I mean, the 20 talent is massive, though. If he can get the magic resistance,
Dire's
that'll
middle
help
tower
a
is under
whole
attack.
heap. What he's been dealing with.
I mean, this is interesting now because you have Cheese on DY, that's another way where you can give this Storm a second life, even though he doesn't have the Aegis. You can just tether Cheese's Storm in the middle of the fight. Might not be something OG can expect or even see. And Paparazzi did finish up Shiva, so he's also a lot tankier now.
Does the AoE pull? It doesn't. It Shadow Run target?
I do not think it does not hit Shadow.
So,
Does
Wisdom Rune Steel for Taiga. Well played.
Still trying to finish this Disruptor Axe. It's just been very slow.
Oh, yeah, what happened to that?
The other thing is it's not the easiest Disruptor Axe to use. I mean, it helps on the Void Spear jump if you can get it, but then you have to play pretty far up. And the problem with the supports playing up for OG is you're just afraid of getting jumped yourself off some ward or something.
Sure.
It's difficult to position right now versus the Sven jump, the Storm jump, the Lion jump. He was found. EZM again.
Follow-up stun.
Top tower is under attack.
These mobile heroes. We talked about it a lot on these panels. We talked a lot about the cast. These stuns that don't last as long means mobile heroes like Void Spirit, a great example of really like to change.
He just jumped that hill blind. Almost got him.
Yeah. Call. They hit the base and quickly back up. That is a very bold move considering you're doing it against a disruptor. Potential for a glimpse pick. High. Ever notice these watchers just
That's when they get disabled.
Yeah, but sometimes they, like, some of them stick around. You can re-grab them.
No, you can't ever grab.
And sometimes they get disabled, but then they're there and you can't re-grab them. But I'm saying they literally go away.
Yeah, that's what they're supposed to do.
But sometimes they are disabled, but they stick around. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's
graphically, they're there.
I'll write a letter right now to Valve.
Yeah.
Cap was really upset by the fact his watchers did not continue watching him.
I like to watch. What can I say?
Oh, I'm aware of that one.
All right, Aghanim Scepter for the Void Spirit. All I can think about is like every item just makes DY's life hard, and it's getting harder every time. Fortunately, his cores are doing really well.
They're just trying to find a single pick off. All they want to see, one hero out of position they can jump on the map. They're set up on all 3 lanes right now, but OG are giving them nothing. You can just play around the edges. Oh, Kaka might find MC. He will.
Okay,
it's the reload.
In with the Storm Spirit nearby. That's 4 heroes in an instant.
Still pretty tanky. A little impressive. They'll find JT on the other end. You have the damage. For once he lives. And you still have God Strength running. There used to be a disruptor there.
Ass kill. Yeah.
That was a tombstone. Axe is finished for BZM. You gotta be careful about these silences. A lot of extra damage. Dark Willow pumping it out. I think Xtreme are gonna respect the fact their God Strength's going down here.
Yuragi's right on the edge there. The Spirit might hit him. It hits him, spots him. Jake's after him. Oh, the Void Spirit's trying to help out, but it looks like Yuragi's been caught and killed. Oh, no.
It's the buy. They want to take the fight without God Strength.
Yeah, try and keep this going. Paparazzi needs the mana, and he needs it now. DY, can he help out? He cannot. Sharpshire's dead. Going after the Sven. He's going to have to use all of this. DY trying to heal him up as much as possible, but it's not good enough. The pickoff on Yuragi ends up turning real bad for Xtreme, as they did not have the resources to get out of there after that kill.
TP for you.
The faster Curse Crown ensures that he'll die before the TP completes.
Well, I don't know if that was the intentional play from Yuragi, but
yeah,
it ended up looking pretty good.
Yeah, they get a lot out of it, and we'll be able to even the playing field, because very likely they're going to hit the high ground, force the buyback out of Xtreme, and if they get out, then okay.
I think Xtreme are kind of okay with that though, because they got 2 core buys. Like MC bought as well. Maybe it's just Yuragi there, and maybe Roche is coming. Feel a bit worse, but
I mean, I appreciate it. This is a nice play, trying to pull the creeps back, keep the backdoor protection up and everything. But I don't think that's stopping OG.
no, especially when it's already down.
Are fortified.
And there's other lanes pushing in, so they do not want to use these buybacks. They really don't.
I mean, if you're OG,
You go about Naka. They're gonna buy back now. Storm's here, zipping in, catching Yuragi. Double glitch, refresher, back in, static storm, going down Yuragi. Oh, the refraction is up. He's somehow still alive on his sliver of HP. He turns back on the Sven. The Sven is dying fast. Die back for him. Oh, what a Xtreme quick reaction.
You need one more paparazzi jump. That's all you have. That might just be the game.
That is just it.
Did not have the burst for Yuragi, and the buyback destroyed him.
He just felt a little bit shy. And without the damage of his Sven, it's just over.
That might have been the best buyback in the throwing bait I've ever seen in my life. How did they get so punished off that?